Okay, so there's this phone game called Bleach Brave Souls. It's been out for 2 years now and has over 29 million downloads. I just found out about it a couple months ago. When I started playing it on Thanksgiving, I honestly had no idea what I was supposed to be doing other than going through the story mode. This game really doesn't tell you much about how things work. You have to either figure it all out on your own or find a piece of information online, which I also had problems with. I could not find a comprehensive beginner's guide that answered the questions I had, and the only thing I learned from the Brave Souls Reddit is that my favorite character is apparently completely useless. So even though I am the last person on this planet to find and play this game, I'm still making this tutorial because I'm an idiot and I'm salty about it. And I'm also waiting for my tickets to recharge, so I've got a lot of free time right now. So this game is based on the anime and manga series Bleach. It's free to play and has microtransactions. I say that because they're really more on the macro side of transactions, and all of it is designed to get you to open your wallet. But honestly, the prices for the premium currency, Spirit Orbs, are so bad that nobody is going to... Oh no. But we'll get to that later. When you're ready to start the game, it will give you a 2-star Ichigo and plop you right into story mode. After you finish your first level, you'll get to summon your first character. I got this Komamura. Innie cute. As a side note, all of the characters are referred to by their first names except for Aizen, which is weird because it's Sosuke. His name is Sosuke. It's a beautiful— Don't look at me like that! All characters will have one of 5 attributes: power, technique, speed, mind, and heart. Power, technique, and speed work in a rock, paper, scissors system with each other that decides which attribute is strong against and weak to. Mind and heart are separate and both strong and weak against each other at the same time. You don't have to remember any of this though, because the charts are always located in the top left of the level screen for you to reference. The colors used for the attributes are repeated again in the character stats: attack, stamina, defense, focus, and spiritual pressure. Attack, stamina, and defense are all pretty straightforward. Focus is what determines whether or not your character will score a critical hit, while spiritual pressure determines how powerful your character's strong attacks and ultimate are. To make up your team, you'll click on the edit button on the left side of the screen. You can have up to 5 teams of 3 characters each. I personally use my first team for general level runs, my second team for brave battles, and the rest of the teams get characters swapped in and out whenever big experience points events pop up. An extra thing to keep in mind, some groups of characters get bonuses when they're on a team together. These are called team effects and will be listed down in that gray area in the bottom left corner. And that teeny tiny button in the corner will show you a list of all the team effects currently available. The effects can be as simple as having 3 versions of the same character on a team, having a full team of Soul Reapers or Captains or Espadas, or even a team of characters with a history together. It's not usually that big of a bonus though, so if you don't have 3 compatible characters, it's not a big deal at all, just something to keep in mind. When you start a level, you'll see a screen giving you a synopsis of it, a list of objectives for you to complete, and a list of enemies you'll be dealing with. Clicking continue will take you to a menu, where you get to pick which of your teams you want to use. Here you can also buy stat boosters for 300 coins each and experience percentage bonuses. You'll also be able to choose which friend buddy you want to bring with you to help with the boss. If you don't have any friend buddies yet, that's okay. The game will give you a list of people who have been playing recently and you can take one of them. When you take a friend buddy with you, you'll receive friendship points, which you can build up and spend to get things later on. Each friend buddy you bring with you on a level will earn you 20 friendship points, but you only get 10 points for non-friend buddies. Always bring a friend buddy with you, because there are achievements you can earn for not unclicking the select button next to their name. Your friend buddies will also receive friendship points when they help you in levels, and they will in turn take you as a friend buddy on their levels, and you'll get points for that. Always take a friend buddy with you. To go through the level, you'll have to spend 1 soul ticket. You start with 25 of them, and it takes 15 minutes for each ticket to recharge after you've used it. As you go through the story missions, you can earn up to 5 spirit orbs per level in total for completing various objectives. Once you complete certain levels for the first time, an option will unlock in that level's menu that will allow you to run it 5 times at once. This is actually a new feature that just came out in the past month. You only have to go through the level once, but you'll get the loot of 5 runs. This will cost you 5 tickets, but it's great for when you're grinding and you just need a bunch of crystals or jewels really fast. On a last note, those gears up in the corner of the main menu are the options. The My Status button is where you go to see your profile. Here you can change your display name and type out a short custom message that other people will see when you co-op with them. The Wallpaper/BGM button will allow you to change the scenery that's behind your characters on the main screen and the music you hear when you're in the menus. The Album button will show you every available character in the game. The ones you have are highlighted. This is also where you can see the character art unobstructed by text and screenshot it to make a desktop wallpaper for yourself. Aw, Sugar Cube, are those roses for me? You shouldn't have. As previously stated, this is where the game starts you off. You get 2 free characters and you learn the basic controls of the game. The main story mode houses the canon story of the series, which currently only goes up to the first part of the Fullbringer arc, and has some of the longer filler arcs in the first movie. These all have a normal and a hard mode. Substories are shorter, self-contained stories or filler arcs from the series that don't really fit in the main storyline. Functionally, they are the same as the main story mode, but they only have 1 difficulty setting. Events are a bit different. This section houses timed missions that you can complete for your standard 5 orbs each. This is where you find the single-player raids and frenzy events, as well as any other single-player timed event. The raids cycle out every 24 hours. The timed events stay around for a week or so, and the frenzies are around for a month. There's also an intensive course where you can earn raid characters to power up specific 6-star characters. This changes every week. At the end of the list, there are events where you can grind for crystals, jewels, and coins if you need materials to level up your characters. This is also where super special events like Cone's Bonanza and Rukia's Special Training Zone pop up from time to time. Rukia's cell phone is over on the sidebar to tell you what you're supposed to be doing. Its job is to tell you what your daily, weekly, and event goals are. For doing all of these things, you get free shit. There are 6 objectives to complete each day: defeat a certain number of enemies, finish a couple of story levels, and complete some co-op quests and brave battles. If you do all these things every day, you'll be 95% of the way towards finishing your weekly challenges, which are pretty much doing more of the same things but in bigger numbers. There are event challenges for completing the timed events a certain amount of times each, and then there are the free challenges that give you things basically for just playing the game. You get free things just for logging in sometimes. You get free things for each crystal and jewel you earn. You get free things for completing the story modes. You get free things for getting new characters. Basically, you get a lot of free shit just for doing basic things in the game, and that's nice. Just make sure you collect your free stuff quickly. If you ignore it, it'll disappear forever. So in the opposite corner of quests is the shopping and summoning area. This is the place where they beat you over the head until you give them money. Don't listen to them. This area is going to be the main orb sink in the game. The spirit orbs you earn can be spent on character summons or accessory summons. Third option on the menu is where they try to entice your hard-earned cash out of you for more orbs, or more level tickets, or other assorted things. The metal exchange is where you trade in the tokens you earn from brave battles for characters, or the birthday tokens for a free summons ticket. This is also where you can redeem your friendship points to get a whole heap of crystals, jewels, and droplets. It's just hidden beneath 40 layers of bullshit trying to sell you crystals, jewels, orbs, characters, soul tickets. Always, always do a 10 times summon. Always. Cone's Corner goes in a specific order when it's giving out its wares. That order is crystals, experience crystals, jewels, droplets, and finally, if you're lucky, Hogyoku's and Hogyoku's wills. If you always summon when you only have 500 friendship points, you will never get any Hogyoku's or wills. Always do your 10 summons here. It's worth it. We're going to talk about the accessories in a bit, so let's take a look at the characters for right now. To start off, you can summon characters one by one, which costs 25 orbs each, or you can summon them in groups of 10, which costs 250 orbs for the lot. As you can see, you don't save any orbs by summoning the group. Whichever option you choose, you will be given a random selection of characters determined by whichever banner you decided to summon from. This is all completely governed by chance, but if you summon the group, you are guaranteed to get at least one 4-star or above character, though people have done the math and found that the odds of getting 5-star characters are the same whether you summon by 1 or by 10. There are different pools of characters you can summon from. The premium summon set is available 100% of the time and currently has 224 characters in the pool, 25 3-stars, 58 4-stars, and 141 5-stars. Which means that if you're hoping to get a certain 5-star from this set, the chances of getting them is only 0.02%. Your chances of getting any 5-star from the pool are only 3%, and these are some terrible odds. But the good news is there's always at least one other pool of characters that you can summon from, often called banner characters. These are themed pools, if you will, and while they have roughly the same amount of 3 and 4 stars in them, they only have a small chunk of selected 5 stars, which mean the odds of getting the character you want rise a good deal. They are also timed. Some banners are only around for a week or so before they change out, so be sure to check the dates in the bottom corner of the banner. This set, the Thirst Summons Blood Warfare, only has 6 5-star characters, which means your odds go from 0.02% of getting the character you want to 0.5%. That's a pretty significant increase. This Invincible 3 banner set only has 3 5-stars, so the odds go from 0.5% to 1%. And if you do summon a 5-star, there's a 33% chance that it's the one you want. As a side note, while most of the characters go into the premium summons pool, not all of them do. The Thirst Summons that we were just talking about are probably only ever going to be available from a limited run banner. They do not go into the premium summons pool. On the opposite side of things, the Invincible 3 summons are going into the premium pool. The basic rule of thumb with this is, if the character or iteration of the character did not make it into the anime, they will not be in the premium pool when they get released into the game. So, if you're like me, and you weren't around the last time 1000-year Blood War characters bannered, you're out of luck. Which means that if you want Japanese man wearing a turban, shirtless child with frostbite, hunky werewolf boyfriend, or Shunsui, you're going to have to wait until they banner again, which could be several months to a year in the future. You'll notice some banners promising gifts. This is actually really common and pretty much the reason I do 10 summons over single summons. Usually the free gift will be 1 Hogyoku, which are always necessary. Sometimes there will be other things instead though. For these Blood Warfare summons, you get 20 of each type of droplet, which is super awesome because I hate grinding for droplets, and the less I have to do it the better. And always watch out for the times when they double the chances of getting 5 stars. Your chances will go from 3% to 6%. Alright, so now that we know how to get characters, we have to learn how to level them up. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the parts I hated most when I first started out. I had a 5-star Toshiro that I liked using as my main, and for the longest time he was stuck at level 60, and I desperately needed help from my friend buddies just to make it through most of the boss fights. The game doesn't tell you what you need to do to level your characters. You either figure it out on your own, or, in my case, hunt down 5 different tutorials just to learn how to do one thing. And that's fucking stupid, so I'm gonna tell you how to get from level 1 to 200 in just one section of this absurdly long video. Alright, so you know that one picture that pops up sometimes while levels are loading? Yeah, that one! This tells you the max level that each tier of character can get up to, except for 6 stars, which can go up to 200, but you don't get a spirit orb bonus when you get them there. 1 star through 4 star characters have their starting level limit, and to max them out you need to awaken them 20 more levels. So how do you awaken your characters? Well, let's take a look at this soy phone. I got a handful of the same one when I was grinding for droplets. In my opinion, the easiest way to awaken your character is to get 5 of that exact character. In this case, 5 4-star raid soy phones. On their basic stat screen, you're going to want to click the augment button at the bottom of the screen. The first place you'll be taken to is the Ascension menu, or as I like to call it, the feeding menu. This is where you will select your other 4 soy phones to feed to your main soy phone, at which point main soy phone will now be able to reach level 70, which is as high as a 4-star can get. You use the same process for 1-star through 3-star characters, and you're probably going to want to. This is a good time to point out that by feeding main soy phone with 4 exact duplicate soy phones, we've also increased her special move level. Now this doesn't mean anything if you're never going to use this character in a team, or for anything other than fodder to feed to other characters, but I like doing it anyway. Basically, what special move level does is increase the power of a character's ultimate move and soul trait. For characters 4-star and below, how strong their ultimate is becomes irrelevant when you never actually use them. And if you're like me and you're wondering if it's worth it to double up on 5-star or 6-star, like our main soy phone example, the answer is, Maybe, but only sometimes. But what if you don't have 5 of the exact same character? No problemo. By this point I'm sure you've maxed out a bunch of lower tier characters. They all have that nice shiny medal in the corner of their portraits and you just don't know what to do with them now. You use them for feeding fodder. You can feed 10 characters at a time to your selected character. Okay, but what if you've already done that and you still need more fodder? A couple of times a day, a mission will pop up in the events category. This is Cone's Bonanza. It will give you so many cones. Sometimes too many cones. And you can use them as fodder to fully awaken your characters. Reddit user Kochi made a handy little chart so you know when Bonanza pops up. Also, Bonanza is a great way to quickly level characters. It gives out tons of experience, so if you have a bunch of low-tier characters piling up, send them through Bonanza until they're fully leveled, and then you can get them out of your inventory. But Violet, you say, even if I do all that, I can only get my 5-star characters up to level 80. What gives? Well, here's where the stupid part comes in. When you have your fully awakened 5-star character up to level 80, you have to go and start messing around with their soul tree, which is next to the augment button at the bottom of their stats page. At the very bottom of the defense column is the button to add levels. Those crystals that you've been earning from every level, this is what you use them for. So you have to fill out the defense branch of the tree and get that level button fully lit. Then, and only then, are you going to be able to get your 5-star to their max level of 100. Now, if you want to evolve your 5-star into a 6-star, you're first going to need to finish leveling them up and fill out the rest of their soul tree. Once their soul tree is at 100%, you'll go back to their main stats page to see that the soul tree button has changed into an evolve button. When you select that option, you'll use some of your Hogyokus, usually 3 to 5, and they'll evolve from a 5-star into a shiny new holographic 6-star. And luckily, it's a similar process for 6-stars. Your newly evolved 6-star is going to start back at level 1. You're going to need to retrain them from the ground up. This time you can level them up to 100 before you're going to need cone fodder to awaken them to 120. Then you're going to need to go back to the skill tree to unlock their level to 150. And what's this? Now their skill tree looks stupid. Everything is everywhere and nothing has any meaning anymore. Why are all the stats scattered around like that? Honestly, I have no idea. But it doesn't really matter, it all adds up to the same thing. Anyway, 6-stars use jewels for their skill trees, not crystals. Do you see those little gold buttons labeled skill? Those are new. All 6-star characters have skills. They enhance multiple things such as damage dealt, dodge rate, area of attack effect, and etc. and etc. You cannot fully max out your 6-star without completing the skill buttons. Sometimes they're even right in the middle of the skill tree, blocking off branches. In order to activate the skill buttons, you're going to need specific characters as fodder. This is where the raids come in. You're going to need to earn the characters needed to unlock the skill buttons from either single player or co-op raids, and those cycle out every 24 hours, so the ones you need aren't always going to be available. Clicking on the skill will tell you what characters you need for it, or you can check on bravesouls.fyi, either or. But once you've finished their skill tree for the second time, you can level them up to 150 for your free orbs and then forget about them. Wait. You're saying you want to fully level your 6-star to 200? What the fuck is wrong with you? Okay, fine. When you get your 6-stars tree fully 100% completed, you can go back to their main stats page, and the skill tree button will have once again changed into the evolve button. This time you'll need 3 to 5 Hogyoku's wills. Upon sacrificing your hard-earned Hogyoku's wills, your 6-stars tree will grow an extra finger on each of its branches. To complete that button of the branch, you're going to need droplets, which you can also earn from the raids. Typically, you'll need 80 of a specific droplet to activate each button. You're in for a lot of grinding, mate. Have fun. In all seriousness, I don't think it's worth it to max out every 6-star to 200. You don't get any more orbs when you accomplish this, and you only get 1 Hogyoku will in return. And considering you've spent 3 to 5 Hogyokus, 3 to 5 Hogyoku's wills, and thousands of crystals, jewels, and coins to get to this point, I just don't think it's worth it. Unless you're going to be using the character for high-level co-op or brave battles, in which case you're going to want to choose your characters wisely, but that's just my uninformed newbie opinion. Once you complete story mode and get all the free orbs from co-op, maxing out characters is probably going to be one of your main sources of orb income. You're going to want to do this with every character you can get. Don't just feed your low characters away immediately. Max them out first so you get the orbs. You only have to do this once per character type to get the orbs. When you max them out, they'll get a little medal in the corner of their portrait, and if you get another of that same character, that medal will tell you that you don't need to max them out again. At long last, we're going back to the shopping area once again. This time we're here for accessories. Now, just like the characters, you can summon accessories to aid you in your quest to be the very best, like no one ever was. You can summon singles for 15 orbs each, or you can summon 10 for 150. This might be the only way you can get the golden dispensers, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, don't do any of that, because you're going to need all of your orbs for summoning characters. The best way to get accessories is to do 5-time runs of the limited lottery events. Oftentimes you'll win a group of 3 to 5 accessory summon tickets, and you can use those to get free accessories. You most likely won't be getting the good stuff, but there's always a chance. Probably a 0.02% chance. Since the premium summon tickets are free, you'll usually get a bunch of 2-star and some 3-star stuff. That's okay, we work up from there. So once you get yourself a bunch of these tickets and summon all of your free items, you can start leveling them up. Pick a 3-star accessory that sounds like it has a good effect, and start feeding it 2 stars just like we did with the duplicate soy phones. This time you don't get extra points for them being the same item, so don't worry about kneecapping yourself by feeding them a bunch of different things. If you run out of crap accessories, that's okay, because we can also use power hearts, which you've been collecting the entire time. The better the heart, the more experience it gives. They work just like the experience crystals, but for items. As you increase the experience and level of your accessory, you'll increase the amount of the thing that it does. When 1-star through 3-star accessories are fully leveled up, 2 of them can be fused together to create one accessory at random in a higher tier. You're going to want to do this with your 3-star accessories to turn them into 4 stars. This is how I got all of my decent items. If you're lucky, you'll get something really good, like one of the dispensers. If you get something like that, and you have a character you can use it with, you'll want to max out its level once again, and evolve it into a 5-star. To evolve a 4-star into a 5-star, you'll need the fully leveled item, 1 book of the appropriate color, and 10 powders of the appropriate color. And then, when you click on the Go button, the server will have a brain fart and tell you to fuck off. If you're missing items, you can grind for them in the appropriately colored accessory fusion trial in the co-op area. When your accessory becomes a 5-star, it will gain a second attribute at random. Some of these are more helpful than others, but you're really only going to need to start worrying about that for high-level brave battles in co-op. Once again, you're going to need to fully level your item for it to be at its most powerful. If your 5-star gets a bad secondary effect, you can try to get a new one with an editing brush, which can be obtained via extreme co-op levels or special events. The editing brush will randomly choose you another second effect. If it's worse than what you originally had, you don't have to keep it, and your accessory will stay the way it was, but you'll still lose the brush. If it's better, you now have a stronger accessory. Secondary effects on your 5-stars are what's going to make or break you, so you're going to want to make sure you get good ones. Finally, all accessories come in all attributes, so you're going to want accessories with the attribute color of the character you plan on pairing it with. A green Chappy dispenser will help a blue Xylopero a little bit, but not nearly as much as a blue Chappy dispenser. So now that we've covered leveling characters and accessories, we can go over how to make them even stronger by equipping them with those accessories and something else called a character link. This is how we take baby Unohana and turn her into serial killer Unohana. Let's go back to your character's main stats page and click the augment button again. At the top there are 3 tabs: Ascension, which we're already familiar with, Accessories, and Character Links. The Accessories tab is where we gotta go to equip items. If you are lucky when you fuse your items, you'll have a small but decent amount of items to use to make your character stronger. I wasn't, so one of my better characters, Stark, had the worst accessories because I didn't have any 4-star purples until I finished writing this script. But because his accessories are the same attribute he is, they do double the amount of the thing they say they're going to do. His incomplete Hogyoku gives him 20% extra stamina instead of 10%, and the shiny new Tenshintai I just got gives him a not inconsiderate 100% ultimate effect instead of the 50% he would have gotten if I'd used the red Tenshintai. 100% of death. If you're able, always match your character's attribute with the same attribute of accessories. Moving on to the Character Link tab, we can see what extra boosts I've set on Stark. I have a lot of heart attribute characters, and I was able to use them all to boost Stark's abilities. Character links can give bonuses when they're the same attribute and have a 100% completed skill tree. As you can see, Toshiro and Aizen both have completed skill trees and therefore give Stark an extra boost, but Zomari does not. This is where specific character builds come into play. NAD builds prioritized normal attack damage boost characters. SAD builds want strong attack damage boosts. But since that's all a bit more advanced and I'm still learning it, I'm not going to go into any of it, because I don't want to give you bad information and because this is already way too long as it is. I personally like to spread out the kind of links I use on my characters for now, as much as possible. I like giving my mains one normal attack boost and one strong attack boost. The third link I pick is usually just whatever I have left that gives a good boost. Let's take a look at some of my other characters, starting with Ishin. Since I'm using him as a character link, he doesn't have any links of his own, but he does have accessories. Even though he's only level 150, he has a decent attack stat of 639. But because of the blue accessories I have linked to him, it's now at 959. His other stats have similar additions. Since Ishin is my only speed attribute characters, he gets all the blue items I can't effectively use on anybody else. My Kenny has a similar stats increase because of the mind attribute accessories I have. And because the 5-star accessories have so much added stamina between them, I can double up on my Hollow Bait, which reduces stamina to increase attack and focus, and still come out ahead. This isn't the best setup, but it's what I've got right now. Lastly, when you're in co-op, you're going to see people asking for things called Crystal Links, or CLs. These are characters that have the soul trait Crystal and Jewel Drop, which increases the amount of crystals and jewels you get when completing any sort of level. This is especially helpful when you're grinding for 10,000 Frenzy character crystals. You can also see what other people are using for accessories and links to get a better idea of what the more popular items are. If you're like me, and let's hope you're not, then when you started, you were looking at your orders and trying to figure out what the hell Brave Battles were. Nothing anywhere is labeled Brave Battles. Where is it? I don't know. Well, here it is. It's actually just Versus Battle. Talk about coming up with stupid names for things. Anyway, Brave Battles are what you get when you need to cram another super special currency into your game to make things harder for your players, and I hate them. Honestly, if I didn't care about completing the daily orders, I wouldn't be doing them at all. So, Brave Battles, Versus Battles, PvP, whatever. You take your best 3 characters and you put them on a team, and then you take that team into the arena to fight against other people's teams. And it's all AI controlled. All you do is pick an opponent you think you can win against and press go. The computer does the rest, and then you do this 9 more times. You have 5 battle tickets to start with. When you use one, it takes 2 hours to recharge. You get 5 extra from your daily orders. If you do the bulk of your dailies in the morning, you get 10 Brave Battles immediately. Then you can wait for 10 hours for your tickets to recharge, and at the end of the day you can have 5 more battles. If you do it this way, you can have up to 15 battles a day. Your tickets will fully recharge by the next morning, and then you can do it all over again. If you want to climb the ladder, this is how you're going to want to do it. You gain points for each Brave Battle you complete, so when you're in the higher, more competitive ranks, you're going to want to maximize how many battles and points you earn to rank up faster. There are 3 different strategies you can use. Pick whichever one sounds best to you. I've had the best luck with attack. This is also the only way to increase your rank. You know, that number next to your name on the main menu. You start at rank 10, and you work your way up. Some co-op events aren't available to you until you reach a certain rank, so you're probably going to want to at least try. And once you get into the higher ranks, you're going to need some damn good accessories just to keep your place there. Co-op is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You can group up with up to 3 different players and you all work together to get through a level. Lower level missions shouldn't be a problem for newer players, but high level missions are going to need a properly accessorized and linked character. This is where the multiplayer boss raids are, as well as the best way to get frenzy character crystals, droplets, editing brushes, skill tree characters, link slot potions, evolution powers, books of secrets. You get my point. The main menu will list out all of the day's events, the character you're currently using, a way to search for groups, and a way to find a specific pre-made group of your friends. If you want to start your own group, You choose the level you want to do and get pulled into the group menu. Here you can set the parameters for who you want to group with or invite a group of friends to your specific room. This will cost you tickets. The random search option will list the games that need players, and you can look through them to find one you want to join. This does not cost you tickets. Also, when you're starting out, you'll get 3 free orbs for every new person you group with. This only goes up to 600, but hey, free orbs. Get them while you can, because once they're gone, you don't get any more. The only problem I have with this is the server issues. My internet will be perfectly fine. Co-op? Not so much. Sometimes it gets so bad the only way you can get through a level is by turning auto on, because the latency is so bad that you can't even tell where enemies actually are. And you can tell when other players are having this issue too, because their characters will start jerking around. It can be a pain sometimes, but there's plenty of good to be had from co-op. And super extra finally, let's talk about the microtransactions. This is a free game, and they gotta pay the employees that make it, and other assorted production costs, and I'm sure they want some profit in anything. I get it. I'm fine with that. Really. I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, so in the beginning of the game, you're getting orbs left, right, and center. 5 per story level for both normal and hard modes, 5 from every event and sub-story levels, 600 from co-op, free login gifts, you're drowning in orbs. But then you finish story mode and all of the events, and play with 200 different people in co-op, and you've spent all your orbs trying to summon 5-star characters. Your last option is to max out the levels on all of your characters. So you do that, and you reinvest those new orbs in getting new characters to max out. But your luck isn't godly, and you keep getting 3 stars and 4 stars that you've already maxed out. That OP Unohana that just came out, and those thousands of orbs you had, all gone trying to summon her. And you didn't get a lot else in the process, other than some experience crystals that you have no use for at this point. You've maxed out all the characters you've gotten to this point, and you can't earn any more orbs, even though there are thousands left to work for. You're in a shitty, terrible catch-22. And other than summoning characters, you've had to spend orbs on other things. The only way you can expand your character and accessory inventories are with orbs. If you die in any level or co-op, it'll cost you 2 orbs to continue. Accessories cost orbs. If you run out of soul tickets and want more now, they'll cost orbs. But wait a minute, what about all those coins you have? Can't you use them to buy any of those things? No. No, you can't. The only things you can buy with coins are stat boosters on a per level basis, higher experience percentage points on an hourly basis, augment your characters, increase character skill trees, increase accessory levels, and buy a new list of brave battle opponents. That's it. Those 26 million coins you have? Next to useless. Seriously. My coins bounce back and forth between 25 and 26 million because I earn back all the coins I spend on skill trees from completing levels in co-op. But what if you could use those coins to do all the things I just said you can't? And this is actually pretty easy to figure out. We already know what the conversion rate is from orbs to coins. Ignoring free bonus coins, 1 orb equals 1,000 coins. What if, in addition to orbs, we could summon 10 characters for 250,000 coins, or a single one for 25,000? Or summon 10 accessories for 150,000. You could continue a level after dying for 2,000 coins, and buy more inventory space for 5,000 coins a pop. Sure, if this was enabled, there'd be an initial splurge as everyone spends the huge amounts of coins they've racked up, but eventually, between skill trees, summons, and everything else, you'd run out of coins and you'd have to earn or buy more. And with as bad as the summoning odds are anyway, I don't think it'd make that much of a difference. But we all know why that's never going to happen. Corporate greed. Yay! But Violet, you say? You're taking things way out of proportion. Maybe a bit, but it can happen. Losing all option to earn more orbs has happened to people. So what do you do if you end up in the worst possible situation? Well, you either buy a couple $100 of orbs to hopefully get you some new characters to max out for more orbs, or start a new account? That's terrible! Especially if you've already put money into the game. I don't want to have to start again. I want to be able to continue playing on this account. And it's at this point that I sometimes feel like the game is taking you hostage. OP serial killer Unohana is great and all, but I want to play with my favorite characters, not just the newest, strongest, game-breaking ones. I want my moth husband. I want a decent red-headed porcupine. And let's not forget Hunky Werewolf Boyfriend, who I also wasn't able to pull when he bannered. Okay, so if the worst situation happens, and you decide to buy orbs for a 10x summons, that's gonna cost you $40. $40 for, let's face it, at least 9 guaranteed duplicates, if not 10. This is absolute bullshit in my humble opinion. I can be really susceptible to these kind of lottery systems, but at $40, even I know that that's a bad deal. If 250 orbs only cost about $5, I can tell you that this game would be fighting with Overwatch about which one of them owns my bank account. But at the price line K-Lab's selling these things at, it's just hard seeing myself buying them. For now, anyway. At least when I give $40 to Overwatch, I get 200 duplicate items instead of just 10. And those duplicates give you in-game currency that you can then use to buy the things you don't have. And Overwatch will never let you run out of loot boxes, even if you don't buy them. I feel like there should be an option for people who don't have thousands of dollars to dump into a game. Make it grindy as all hell. Make us free-to players work for it. Fine, I have no problem with that. I get it. But when I put in an amount of money to the game that's roughly equal to buying a brand new AAA game and I still have very little to show for it, it really just kills my enthusiasm to continue playing. And now, just for funsies, let's go back to that screenshot from the beginning of the video. Now obviously you can't buy 11,775 orbs, but you can buy 11,700. So let's assume that this account had 75 orbs on it to begin with. To get to 11,775 you would have to buy 20 different transactions of 585 orbs each. At $79.99 that's going to cost $1,599.80 plus tax. $1,600 in one day. Ouch! And that wasn't a one-time occurrence, though I'll be completely honest. If I had that kind of disposable income, I'd probably be doing the same thing. And that's what really scares me. So, I think that's everything. Well, obviously not everything. If I didn't talk about it, I either don't know about it, and therefore it's not fit for a beginner's tutorial, or I do know about it, and I know it's not fit for a beginner's tutorial. These things include advanced tutorials for accessories, brave battles, and co-op, just to name a few. And let's not forget about link slot potions. Anyway, thanks for watching this extremely long and unnecessary video. This is my first time making anything like this. It was basically an excuse to get some practice with this format because of a project I have in mind for the future. Let me know what you think, or if I've goofed up something so I can fix it. May the RNG be ever in your favor, and god damn it, K-Lab, give me my moth husband, you fuckers!